Hi, I'm Noah Wyle, and you're on the set of Librarian 3, Curse of the Judas Chalice.
The Librarian is a genre movie, essentially. It's an action-adventure comedy.
I think it's only fair to warn you that I am in fact a librarian.
The idea is that there is a library buried underneath New York Metropolitan Library. And in this library, they hold the greatest magical artifacts the world has ever known. Things like the Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny, the Golden Fleece. And the librarian is the man in charge of protecting these items. And when one goes missing, it's his job to go get it, and that's where all the adventures begin.
Whatever it takes, do not let him leave with that vase.
Check, save the world no matter what. Well, we open in England at an estate auction, and Flynn Carson is going to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone.
The stone can turn anything it touches into gold.
Well, he comes back from his first mission, and he's feeling a little bit burned out on his job. He's always working, always busy, and really hasn't had much of a life.
This place is sucking the life out of me!
Well, unlike the other librarian movies, he's decided that he needs a vacation. But of course, wherever Flynn Carson shows up, so does trouble. And that leads him on to the adventure of the Curse of the Judas Chalice.
Let's let bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll.
This particular adventure takes place in New Orleans because it's a story about vampires.
That came from Marc Roskin, who wrote the third one. We were talking about New Orleans and what would be a fun story there, what would be a great adventure for Flynn Carson to get into. And Marco came up with this concept of the Judas Chalice,
which is the cup made from the 30 pieces of silver given to Judas for betraying Christ that were then melted down into this chalice. The mythology being that Judas Iscariot perhaps may have been the very first vampire.
Flynn Carson has one big fear that we established in the second movie, which is the undead.
Ghosts. I hate ghosts.
In this one, he stumbles into an adventure with vampires. One of the things that leads him to coming to New Orleans is he has a dream. And in a dream, he hears this beautiful voice singing to him.
And then the dream is realized when I walk into a bar and I see her singing the song that I heard in my dream. And she holds the first clue to where the Judas Chalice is.
Don't you think we should open some music or put on some wine?
It's okay, Librarian. You can drop the act. She's a spicy character too. She really is exciting to play because she has a strong sense of joie de vivre. You know, she loves life.
Who else can live such a life? Don't hide from it, Flynn. Celebrate it.
Any suggestions?
We could start with a drink.
They're still going to be out there.
Well, then maybe we make it two.
I play a professor of medieval European history who is accosted by former KGB agents who are looking for a lost chalice.
I've searched for this my entire life.
It's real, and you're going to help us find it.
Well, I'll tell you, before the script arrived, I got a phone call from Dean saying, "Would you want to come play with us in New Orleans?" And I just said, "Yeah, okay."
Well, fortunately, which isn't always the case, this is the best script so far.
It's a stronger script in a different kind of way. This time around, he's the librarian. He does this, he's done it, he's pretty good at it, and so you can focus just on the story that we're telling, which I think it sort of liberates us a lot more to have a bit more fun with the character.
Okay, don't be nervous. We're going to have to...
The thing is, what we've tried to do is to create an original hero and allow each adventure to take on some genre flavors. The first one definitely had Indiana Jones type of flavor to it.
Well, I describe him as being Indiana Jones if Indiana Jones was being played by Don Knotts.
The second one, we tried to add some more of a Western flavor to it. And in this one, we've brought in the James Bond aspect of it.
With the James Bond approach, we really wanted to start off the movie differently than we have in the past. Flynn Carson in a tuxedo, trying to fit in, and then moving into a scene with a sword fight.
Yeah, we did choreograph the fight scene together. Joe Knezovich is his name. Joe and I got in a room over a course of 2 days and figured out a couple of interesting phrases for the fight and a way of initiating some comic beats.
British cavalry sword, Worthy & Sons, silver filigree. Did have a price.
There was no stunt double. That was Noah being Flynn Carson.
There is no librarian without Noah Wyle. I mean, he is the heart and the soul and the brains behind the whole thing. The other day we were in an elevator and the doors opened and a girl freaked out. But she didn't say, "ER," she went, "Flynn Carson!"
It's been an amazing ride. You know, after having played one character for 11 years, I guess I was sort of suspect about doing something else that was one character over an extended period of time, but I love this character so much. Somebody doesn't want us to go any farther?
Some of the fun stuff in this is you get to see a brand new part of the library that we've never seen before.
Charlene, how big is the library?
As big as we need it to be.
We get to see Bob Newhart's Judson character doing some different types of magical entrances and exits.
Ah, that's better. Hate to go through puberty again.
Well, I love the script, and I love the fact that it didn't take itself seriously.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Monday is your training day with Excalibur. Oh, he missed you.
Jane Curtin's character actually gets to do a little bit more in this one, and we get to see some other sides of her character that we haven't seen in the previous shows.
I read the script and I thought it sounded like an awful lot of fun.
What are you doing here?
Whoa. My combination speed dating wine tasting was 2 streets down.
How did that go?
Here.
That scene was rewritten for Jane, which is a really great idea because it initiates a sort of personal connection.
You gotta move on to new things, to a new someone.
And when I lose the next someone?
You're not the only one this job has cost.
We've been so blessed with what's become a kind of a family now. To get Bob Newhart back on each one of these and Jane Curtin, and now in the last 2 to have Jonathan Frakes directing, it's just been amazing for us.
My relationship with Dean Devlin goes back long before The Librarian. We've been looking for something to do together because we like big movies, we like action adventure, and we like comedy, and the genres all came together with this Librarian movie.
Wow. Actually, never sat this close to a psychopath before.
Kill him.
We are basically trying to accomplish a feature film in 20 days. This is 20 locations, multiple costume changes, this is special effects, explosions, this is jumping off of rooftops, flying vampires. It's really hard, but everybody digs in and gets through it.
We've been very fortunate to create this nice little ensemble of people both in front and behind the camera that work and play well together, and it's always an enjoyable experience.
It's always so exciting on the first day because as soon as Noah Wyle says that first line, it's like you hear Flynn Carson again. And everybody gets excited because it's like the family's back together.
Noah Wyle.
Missed. Didn't.
The Librarian, Curse of the Judas Chalice, December 7th at 8, only on TNT.